Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's up with it? What's up with it? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? ETN got a hammy injury out of nowhere. Did I miss something? I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't paying too much attention to the game this morning. It's been an ass kicking, but I haven't been super dialed in. I have a wedding to go to right after the stream ends. Tank was non-existent in the fourth quarter. ETN is trash. Yeah, I mean, ETN has been fucking shit for at least the last couple of weeks. What's going on, guys? Oh, someone already super chatted. Thank you very much. Julio Lane, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Tracy Jr. or Tolbert? That's why I didn't move up the rankings. It was Tracy. I knew I was missing something. Really bump Tracy up here. So, honestly, bump him up here. I knew I missed someone. Tracy or Tolbert? It's 100% going to be Tracy. Why, you might ask? Obviously, you asked the question, so you want to know why. The reason behind that is because Tracy has a much safer floor, right? Tolbert's targets have been going up and down weekly. Now, I understand they don't have Brandon Cooks, so realistically, the targets should come at a more rapid rate. But again, even when we thought, hey, he took over from Brandon Cooks a couple of weeks ago, the targets were still relatively hit or miss. So my thoughts are that while I do like Tolbert a ton, I think they both have similar upside, but I just think the floor of Tyron Tracy is a little bit higher. I understand that the Giants are not that great of an offense, but going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, one of the best matchups that a running back could have, I am ecstatic to see what he does in this game, and I think Tyron Tracy is a great player. I talked him up in the summer. We talked about how I honestly believe that he was better than Devin Singletary. Now, you might argue, Nick, that's not the case. He's not as good as Devin Singletary. You know, you don't have to agree with me, but I do think he is, and I'm definitely going to go ahead and lean the way of Tracy. Now, again, this isn't a hate video on Tolbert because I do really like Tolbert, but I'd personally lean with Tyron Tracy. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. The Truther, Pittman, Judy, Moss, or McLeod for the flex full PPR? Great question. Oh, man. So when I'm looking at this list, I feel like Pittman is probably your safest bet. If I was just to say who is the safest player this week, it probably is going to be Tracy. I mean, not Tracy. It's probably going to be Pittman. But Pittman's dealing with the injury, but so is Zach Moss. So it puts you kind of in a tough situation. Does anyone at all, anyone out there want to play Ray McLeod or Jerry Jeudy? The answer to that would be no. Jerry Jeudy has been pretty decent this season, but again, we are hinging on Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson has just been so bad thus far this season and gives me absolutely zero confidence that we will end up seeing a big game out of Jerry Jeudy. So personally, the way I look at things here, I'm going to go ahead and go with Michael Pittman Jr. They have Joe Flacco in. Pittman says he's good to go. He says he doesn't feel any of the injury on game day. Moss is banged up as well. So either way, you're going with a banged up player. And I feel pretty confident in how the offense is going to move in this game for the Colts with Joe Flacco. So I'm going to go with Michael Pittman Jr. Ron Real TV, thank you for the super chat. What's up, Oos? What's going on, man? D-Hop or Eckler at the flex? Great question. I'm going Austin Eckler with no Brian Robinson Jr. You just have to believe that Eckler is going to see so much work in this game. Now, they do have Jeremy McNichols, and Jeremy McNichols is actually a pretty decent player, right? Like, before, like a couple of weeks ago, if you said, Nick, what is your opinion on Jeremy McNichols? It would have been the McGregor. Who the fuck is that guy, right? Like, no one knows who that guy is. He's not very good, this, that, and the other thing. But now that we kind of fast forward into how far we are into this season, it is pretty clear that Jeremy McNichols is at minimum a decent player. So I think Eckler's the better play, though, just because you don't have to deal with the quarterback situation in Tennessee. I know it's going to be Levis, but if they went to Mason Rudolph halfway into the game, it's not like Mason Rudolph is like some gunslinger who's going to try to push the ball deep down the field. So my answer there would be it would be Austin Eckler. I feel pretty confident in that. Michael Bricky, thank you for the super chat. With neighbors outs, would you go Slayton over Dowdle or Chase Brown? D Schultz over Pitts with Nico and Mixon out. Mixon's in, isn't he? Joe Mixon. Or am I crazy? And did they just rule Joe Mixon out when I wasn't paying attention? Listed as questionable, expected to play. Let's see if we can find anything else here. I had some help. It ain't like I can. Joe Mixon. I'm seeing as questionable. Is that game at 4? Is Joe Mixon playing or not today? I swear the internet has gotten useless. He is playing. Okay. He's supposed to play. I'm playing Pitts over Schultz. I just don't trust Schultz at all, if I'm being honest with you, and I don't think you should at all. Schultz just, even without Nico, like, I don't trust it at all. And again, I don't trust Pitts really that much either, but I trust Pitts light years ahead of Schultz. So I'm going to go Pitts over Schultz. I'm going to make my opponent give me the gawk. Yes, sir. Love that. I love Slayton this week. But I think you are getting far too cute playing Slayton because while Slayton had a big game and I had to pick up Slayton. So Slayton is starting on one of my fantasy football teams this week. But I'll tell you right now, like, I'd be lying if I said, oh, I am 100% confident in that play. I'm just not. Like, I would be straight up lying to you if I said I was super confident in Slayton. So I would just stick with Dowdle and Chase Brown. That's personally what I would do. He's played Dowdle and Chase Brown. That's the way I'm leading. So we're going to go with Dowdle. Here, wait one second. We're going to go with Dowdle and Chase Brown over Slayton. Again, I like Slayton this week, but I do think you're getting a little cute by doing that. And then we're going to go with Pitts over Schultz. Again, I don't love Pitts either, but I just feel more confident in him. Need a flex. Wandale, Dell, Dowdle, start Mixon. I'm starting Mixon if you have Mixon. There's no way, based upon where you drafted him and based upon how he's performed, that you could feel confident at all in sitting him. He looked really good to start off the season, and I see no reason as to why he couldn't end up repeating that kind of success. So I would definitely play Mixon. And then if you need a flex out of those guys, it's got to be Wandale Robinson. The targets are just going to be so hefty up against a bad Cincinnati Bengals team. You know he's the wide receiver 1 in that offense without Neighbors. Feels like a safe bet. Kyle Singer, thank you for the super chat. Pick 1 full PPR. Keon Coleman, Shakir if he plays, or Dobbs. Oh, my. Love you too. If that's what the 4U is supposed to mean. Maybe it's not, though. I don't know. Oh, man. It's a tough one. Gun to the head if Shakir plays and playing Shakir. I don't like the matchup against the Jets. I don't think anyone likes the matchup up against the Jets, but eventually the Jets defense is going to combust a little bit, and a guy like Shakir who can get a lot of underneath stuff, I think could succeed regardless. So I'm just going to go ahead and play Shakir. I mean, I don't really want to play Dobbs at all. Dobbs seems to be, maybe he just gets fed this game, right? Because he said all this shit about the offense, and maybe that leads to his good old buddy pal feeding him the rock, Jordan Love. But I'm not too sure if that's the most logical outcome. So I'm going to go ahead and play Shakir. If not, then just play Coleman. Tracy or Bucky, also Love or Kyler? Great question. Love versus Kyler is basically a coin flip. You close your eyes, you flip the coin. Personally, I would go with Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's going to bounce back. And then Tracy or Bucky, I would go with Tracy. I just think Tracy is a significantly better running back than Bucky Irving. He has a lot more burst, and that is what leads me more towards playing Tracy. Again, I do like Bucky a ton, but I would lean with Tracy. And then Love or Kyler, I'm personally going to go with Jordan Love over Kyler. It is a pretty 50-50 question, though. Paul, thank you for the super chat. Bucky Irving or Tyron Tracy PPR need points. Yeah, again, that one is super close. In full PPR, it doesn't really change too much, in my opinion. Neither Bucky or Tracy are like these PPR fucking merchants, a guy that I expect to get like 6, 7 targets in this game. Now, obviously, when you're the sole back on the team and the Buccaneers dump off the ball as much as they do, maybe Bucky Irving could do that. But I'm going to lean with Tyron Tracy again. It's a pretty 50-50 split. I just like Tracy's matchup significantly better. Like, I think the Saints defense might be overrated. Like, I think you can easily make that argument that the Saints defense is overrated. But I also think the Saints defense is better than what the Bengals have packing. So I'd go with Tyron Tracy. Nicodamus, thank you for the super chat. Start Godwin or MHJ. Now, this is one of those questions that it's another one of these that we use this term all the time, but it's the can't sleep at night type of question, right? You have a question where you have two guys that should be in your lineup, but you can only start one of them. I have Godwin ranked at 8. I have Marvin Harrison Jr. ranked at 13. I like I like Marvin Harrison Jr.'s matchup better, but I feel like Godwin is just going to get incredibly peppered with targets due to the fact that I think Evans is going to end up getting into a hell in the cell cage match with Lattimore, which is going to lead to Godwin getting a majority of the carry or a majority of the targets. I think that Godwin is just significantly safer, like gun to the head. Who is the safest bet? It's got to be Godwin. So I'm just going to go ahead and play Godwin. That would be my answer. Half PPR, we're going Godwin. Downs or Ridley PPR, you need upside. I think you definitely got to go Downs. With Joe Flacco, Josh Downs has the upside to individually, not individually win you your game, right? I guess that would be some crazy fucking glazing right there if I said that Josh Downs was good enough to individually win you your game, but he is going to get a bunch of targets on an offense that on paper should score a boatload of points. They just should with Flacco. So I'm going to go with Josh Downs. I don't trust Ridley. His volume has just gone so up and down weekly, and quarterback play there is super suspect. So I think you're better off just going with with Downs, who has the least competent quarterback play in cool Joe Flacco. Need one running back and one flex. And just so you guys know, if you can't super chat, that's fine. I just do all the super chat questions first, and then we get to the non-super chat questions after. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, helps me out a ton. Need one running back and one flex. Sermon, Moss, Javonte, Olave, half PPR. Great question. Javonte is going to be out of the equation here, not because I think Javonte is a bad player, but again, I just don't really want to hinge on the Denver Broncos offense. Plus, Javonte Williams has been pretty underwhelming this season, just in terms of his play on the field. I understand that he had a decent fantasy football showing last week, but nothing that I saw on the field tells me that that is a very likely scenario to repeat, right? Nothing out of what I saw out of that game will tell me that. So we're personally going to go ahead and go with Trey Sermon. No Jonathan Taylor. They're going to use Tyler Goodson. Could make the argument, honestly, that Goodson might be a slightly better running back than Sermon, but you review the tape, they want to use Sermon more. So I'm going to go Sermon. Again, he's not a straight up workhorse running back like Jonathan Taylor. He's not a 1-for-1 replacement. It's not like in San Francisco when someone goes down, right? Chris McCaffrey's not there. Mason gets fed. Mason's not there. Isaac Garendo gets fed, right? It's not necessarily like a 1-for-1 like that, but I do like Sermon a ton. And then I would just have to go with, if you want to play the safe bet's Moss. I go with Olave. I do think Olave is risky, but based upon what Spencer Rattler said, he's going to feed the rock to Chris Olave. So let's just hope that's the case. Olave and Sermon. PPR need one in the flex, Watson or Warren. Thanks. I don't love either of those bets, if I'm being completely honest with you. Thank you for the super chat, though. Is Christian Watson playing? Let me just verify. Christian Watson. The fuck? Is there some political figure? Because I looked up Christian Watson injury report, and it's just like some Christian Watson guy that's tweeting about politics. Christian Watson dealing with the ankle sprain, the long ankle sprain is active. Okay, that's what we actually wanted. I thought that Christian Watson was tweeting about politics or something. That would have been very funny. Just sheer hours before gameplay, getting real mad at the at politics, which is just funny. It's nothing to do with anything. I'm going Watson. I think if you just wanted, hey, I need 6 points, you just play Warren, right? Like Warren's going to get you that. But what's the real fun in playing Jalen Warren? You know they want to use Najee. You know they also want to throw the ball more than normal, than in previous weeks. So what's the real fun in it? He's going to get you 6 points. Now, I understand Watson might score you 0 points. Watson could go out there and take a shit directly on your chest and do nothing for you. But I would rather have that happen than play a guy that I just don't think has any upside at all. So I'm going to go with Watson. Pittman or Kraft in the flex this week? That's a great question. I do find it hard to play a tight end in my flex. I really do in a lot of scenarios. This would be a scenario where I don't think it's crazy to play a tight end in your flex. Now, gun to the head, I'm probably just going to play Pittman. Kraft has ripped off so many great games in a row, 2 huge games in a row. Can he do it again? Yes. But eventually, a lot of the times when a tight end, you don't expect to be all that great, catches on fire. Eventually, it falls off. Now, last year, we had Sam Laporta. I told you all to draft him. That didn't happen with Laporta. Laporta never saw that fall off, I guess, until this season. I would just feel a lot more confident in Pittman again with Joe Flacco. You just know the volume's going to be there. Like with the return of Dobbs, with the return of Watson, like you could see Kraft fall heavily out of favor in this offense. Again, would I guarantee that? No, but we know Pittman's going to get a boatload of targets, so I'm going to go with Pittman personally. Spencer Rattler expected to start the next 3 to 4 weeks until Derek Carr returns. Need points. Flex half PPR. Slayton, Moss, Brown. Need points. If you need points, I'm going to go with Chase Brown. Now, need points could mean 2 different things. I need safe points or I need a boatload of points. If your question is, I need safe points, I think Chase Brown is the answer there because Chase Brown has been cutting more and more into Moss's workload. Moss is banged up going into the week. So we should see a lot of Chase Brown. So my thought would be Chase Brown would be the safest bet there. If you're looking for, hey, I want potentially 30 fantasy points, I'm going to throw risk out there. I'm not going to say, hey, I'm going to just get the safe points. I'm going to go balls to the fucking wall. If that's your thought process, I'm going balls to the wall. I'm going to go ahead and play Darius Slayton. The floor, it's Slayton. So the floor is kind of low, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Slayton scored 4 fantasy points, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he went out there and laid a smackdown brother WWE style on the Bengals defense. So if you want the safe bet, go Brown. The high upside, go Slayton. Wesley Lambert needs some serious help. Team isn't doing good. Running back Jordan Mason played. That sucks. Obviously, not your fault, though, that he got hurt. Connor, you got DJ Moore played. Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson, bench, Bucky Irving, Tank Dell, Deontay Johnson. My bench always outscores my starters. That is a problem. That is a problem that occurs when you draft players that are as good as you did. When you draft a bench that is as deep as your bench, when you have a lot of good players, that is going to lead you to starting bad players every once in a while. Now, that's a good problem to have because some people see your team could suffer an injury and you're fine, right? You're not worrying too much. You're not losing sleep at night. Other teams, they lose a guy and they are basically fucked, right? They're crying themselves to sleep. So, in my opinion, I would personally, oh man, would I flip anyone? I want to get Deontay Johnson in the lineup, so someone's going to have to go. Someone's going to have to go, and that's going to be Zay Flowers, and I love Zay Flowers. But I'm going to flip Deontay Johnson into the lineup over Zay Flowers. I just think the floor is just so much higher with him. So that's the way I would go. That is the way I would go. Personally. That's personally the way that I'm leaning. That's just the way I would go. I would take Flowers out because again, Flowers, we know the game script goes wrong. Flowers is going to get you 2 points, right? If the game script goes wrong, Flowers is going to absolutely shit the bed. Where even if the game script goes wrong for the Panthers, you're still going to see a lot of volume going the way to Deontay Johnson, which makes Deontay Johnson a significantly safer bet, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm going to go Deontay Johnson over Zay Flowers. And then the rest looks good to me. So that's how I'm going to go. And again, best of luck. I understand how that feels, especially if you're in a league like you're in where you don't have 3 wide receiver spots, you don't have 2 flex spots. It does lead to making lineup decisions 9,000 times more difficult. So that's all I'll say there. I'm going Deontay Johnson over Zay Flowers. Joe DeSimone, thank you for the super chat. Pickens, Tolbert, Bowers, Eckler, start 2. All right. We're going to go Bowers. I can't sit Bowers. I like Bowers matchup. I don't love Bowers matchup. I'm not going to sit here and glaze Bowers, but Bowers has been relatively hot multiple games into the season. So I'm going to go Bowers. And then gun to the head, my answer is Tolbert. I think the safest second bet is Eckler, but I'm going to go Tolbert. I'm going for the upside. I think Tolbert could end up being a certified smash this week. I think Tolbert could easily score 20 plus fantasy points, especially in this spot in a game that has all the potential to be a shootout. So I'm going to go with Tolbert and I'm going to go with Brock Bowers. If you don't want to play the tight end, play Eckler. I'm going Bowers and Tolbert. I like the match of upside and the match of safety that they got. Cash Money, thank you for the super chat. Dobbins or Eckler? Let us consult the rankings. I think I might have Eckler over Dobbins. I do not. I have Eckler ranked lower than Dobbins. So I'm going to go Dobbins. I don't love Dobbins, if I'm being honest with you. I don't love him because I don't like the matchup against the Broncos, but I do know the volume's going to be there. I feel pretty confident in the volume, and I feel pretty confident that he's going to have his better games compared to what we've seen the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go with Eckler. I'm going to go with Dobbins. I apologize. Dobbins. Brandon, thank you for the super chat. Adonai Mitchell or Michael Wilson? I love Adonai Mitchell. If we're just talking about like talent wise, I think Adonai Mitchell is much more talented than Michael Wilson. But if you want to just strictly talk about this game, which is what we're talking about here, I think you basically have to go away from what was I saying? I think you basically have to go away from the idea of playing Adonai Mitchell, even if you like him more, just because I feel a lot more confident in Michael Wilson. I think he's the pretty clear number 2 in Arizona in a game that could be high scoring. Adonai Mitchell could easily be the 5th target on this team, so I'm going to go with Michael Wilson. Running back in a flex from Stu Money, my man. Thank you for the super chat. Irvin, Mixon, Gibson. Gibson's going to be the odd man out. Is Gibson a bad player? No. Is Gibson going to see a bunch of touches? Yes. But he's going up against the Texans in a game script that could go very wrong, right? They could easily, in the first ever start for Drake May, everything could go incredibly wrong. It could go tits up, and we see zero volume going the way of Gibson very quickly, unless it's obviously dump offs. It's Drake May's first start. I would just try to avoid that. Bucky Irving has been solid this season when given the touches. He's better, in my opinion, than Rachaad White, and there's no Rachaad White, so he's going to get a lot more volume. And Mixon, you just got to play him when he's healthy. So Mixon and Irving. Next question here. Start a flex. Eckler, Tank Dell, or Chase Brown. It's just got to be Chase Brown. It just has to be. Chase Brown, over the last 2 weeks, has seen a strong increase in volume, which leads me to believe that the team wants to continue to give more touches to him and potentially take more away from Zach Moss, which has me feeling like Chase Brown could end up being a league winner. It's got me feeling nicey on him. So that's the way I'm going to lean. We're going to lean towards playing Chase Brown. I just feel the most confident in him. Derek Willett, thank you for the super chat. Full PPR, Bucky or Rico. Also, Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, or Brock. Or do I throw May in just like the delusional Pats fan I am? Well, Brock already played, so you can't play Brock no more. What I would do is play Rico Dowdle. Oh, Rico or Bucky. I got Bucky ranked ahead of Rico, so we're actually going to go Rico. And we're actually going to go Bucky. Bucky and Rico are super close, though. But I would lean Bucky. I like both of them, though. I just know deep down, like one of these days, even though we feel so confident in, oh, we're going to be seeing a lot more volume for, we're going to see more, we're going to see more volume for Rico. Then magically, they're just going to give the ball to fucking Zeke or something, and it's just going to really piss us all off. So, personally, I'm going to go ahead and just play Bucky Irving and then Kirko or Dak or Brock. I got Dak in this game up against Detroit. Should be a very high scoring matchup. I like all of your quarterback options, but it's gotta be Dak. It's gotta be me. Greg McKenzie. Hey lad, what's going on? Two flexes, please. Tolbert, Tracy, or Dobbins. Great question. We're gonna go Tracy and Tolbert. I don't mind Dobbins. I would be lying to you if I said that. I thought that Dobbins was this god awful play, bottom of the barrel, nut low type of start. But I do think that we should end up seeing Dobbins get a lot of carries. It's just like how explosive can he be against the Broncos? Now, again, he's an explosive player, so all it really takes is one big burst and the guy's fucking gone straight to the cribbo. So I don't think it's a terrible play, but I like Tracy more. I think Tracy, the younger back in an offense that could be in a potential very high scoring game up against the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals defense is so bad that the Giants might be able to get up and run the ball a shit ton in that game. So we're going to go that way. Yeah, we're trapping out the segue. We're going to go with Tolbert, and we're going to go with Tracy. Louis, pick one, half PPR, Garrett Wilson, Scary Terry, Pollard for the upside. Oh, after what Garrett Wilson did last week, I would be hard pressed to sit Garrett Wilson. I just would be. I don't think I have the cojones to sit him. I just don't think I do. Again, do I love it? No. I don't love it, but I think I'd go with Garrett Wilson. The guy got force fed last week. There's reason to believe he could get force fed again this week. So I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson. I love Pollard, though, this week. And if you want the safest bet, it's Pollard. Full PPR, Kev Bo. Okay, let's try to find Kev Bo's question. Kev Bo. Leave your question in the chat. Kev Bo, make sure you put your question in here because I don't see it. I do not see it. I do not see your question. Oh, it was related to this question. It was full PPR. I gotcha. Even still, I just assume anytime you guys don't put what settings your league is, I just assume it's full PPR. I did a poll in the summer, and a majority of you guys play full PPR by a strong margin. Again, that's not saying that you're some outcast if you play half PPR standard. Most people play full PPR. The answer for me is still going to be Chase Brown. Still going to be Chase Brown. Scorpion, thank you for the super chat. Austin Eckler or Pittman for the flex full PPR. It's got to be Pittman. Jeremy McNichols' usage is going to piss a lot of you guys off. Just going to go outright and say that right now. Now, again, that does not mean that we're going to end up seeing Eckler be a bust. I think Eckler's a fine play, but 100% in the reign of Pittman here. Pittman is going to see so many carries in this game. Targets in this game. It's just got to be Pittman. It's just got to be Pittman. Niner 86. Thank you for the super chat. Need a flex spot. Harrison Higgins. Smith. Oh, man. Can you really sit Harrison? You might be. You might be sitting him for Higgins. You might be. I got Higgins 12, Harrison 13. So it is kind of a coin flip. Both of those guys could go nuclear. I have Smith ranked significantly lower. So Smith is not even a part of this question, in my opinion. All right. 1 second, guys. Just answer a question here. It'll take 2 seconds. All right. I'm going Higgins. I like the matchup against the Giants. I like the matchup up against the Packers for Harrison. It's one of those where you kind of close your eyes. You just pick either or. Higgins feels like he has a much safer floor. Harrison has been bouncing up and down heavily weekly in terms of his production. So I just feel a little bit more confident in um in Higgins. Brady, Fergalicious, or Baldy Brock Bowers. That's a scenario where you can't really go wrong. I think both of these guys are going to end up having good games, so you're not going to be disappointed, or at least you shouldn't be. Obviously, if one of them ends up not living up anywhere close to my expectation, one of them's going to have a bad game, right? But push comes to shove here. I think my lean is going to go the way of playing Ferguson. Ferguson has been very consistent this season. Brock Bowers has been up and down. Again, that doesn't mean that Brock Bowers is a bad play. All I'm saying is that Brock Bowers has been up and down, and the other guy, Ferguson, when he's healthy, has not been up and down. He's been a consistent top 12 guy with legitimately upside to be the tight end number one in any given game, especially in a matchup like this up against the Lions. That could be one of the most high scoring, if not the most high scoring game. So I'm going to go Ferguson. Kendrick, Shanklin, Royal Boots, LLC. Thank you for the super chat. Olave or Downs? Okay. This is a very simple question when it comes down to things. If you want to play the safe bet, it's Downs. Downs is 9,000 times safer than Olave. Why is that? Because Downs, you know the volume's coming his way. You know that his quarterback Flacco loves him. Now, Spencer Rattler did give the Hawk 2 a special to Chris Olave. So you know Chris Olave is going to get fed by Rattler. But I trust Flacco more than Rattler. Gun to the head, I think I have Olave ranked higher, but I would play Downs. My gun to the head pick would be Downs. I play Downs. Olave, Pickens, or Lad McConkey. That's going to be Olave. Again, there is the clear risk. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that there is zero risk here with that decision, right? There's definitely going to be risk when it comes to playing Olave due to us never seeing Rattler play a true NFL game just preseason. But I'm going to go Olave. I don't really trust Pickens. I don't trust Lad at all. So I'm going to go Pickens. I'm going to go Pickens. No, I'm not going Pickens. I'm going Olave. It's 100% Olave. Christian Gilmore, thank you for the super chat. Christopher, sorry. Antonio Gibson or what's good culture clips? How we doing? Antonio Gibson or Rico Dowdle? I'm going Rico Dowdle. I like Antonio Gibson. I do, but I just trust Dowdle so much more. Like if Gibson scored 4 fantasy points, I wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if he scored 15. Whereas Dowdle, I feel like at least he's going to get you 9 with the upside to score 25. So I'm going to go Dowdle. NPNY1970, thank you for the super chat. Full PPR, Bijan and Eckler, need a flex, McNichols, Sermon, or Algier. I wouldn't try not to double dip on the Commanders. I think if you're already playing Eckler, there's really no reason to play McNichols. Now, can both of them coexist and both have great games at the exact same time? 100%. But you're better off just playing Sermon because then you don't have to worry too much about one game, right? And if the fucking say the Commanders end up here getting just trained, right? The Commanders bend them over, or not the Commanders, the Ravens bend them over a table, then you don't have to worry too much about that because then the game script could obviously go wrong. So let's just go with Trey Sermon. We know the volume's going to be there. We like the offense with Flacco under center. That's just the smartest decision is to go Sermon. Hey, Hubby, thank you for the super chat. Let me see if I can find your question in chat here. Leave your question in chat. I'm going to keep looking, though. For K Hubby, thank you for the super chat. Start 2, Downs, Shakir, Dobbs, Tolbert. Love you, fam. Love you too, man. Downs and Tolbert, 100%. Downs, very safe. Tolbert, high upside. Both have pretty high upside. Tolbert should be a little bit safer without Brandon Cooks. I like both of those plays. I don't want anything to do with Dobbs. I don't love Shakir. So Tolbert and Downs feel like the safest bets there with very high upside. I'm ecstatic to see what Downs and Tolbert do today. I've got a lot of them in my DFS lineups. K Hubby said, forgot to leave a message. That's okay. Pick 2, Dowdle, Bucky, Tolbert, Slayton, full PPR. Great question. Bucky, I think we're just going to go double running back here. I think we're just going to go double running back here. I don't think we're going to sit here and think too much about it. I think we're not going to get cute like we normally do and severely overthink things. That's something that a lot of fantasy players just do is you have such an easy answer and you just sit there going back and forth. Oh, should I go this guy? Should I go that guy? Instead of just going with your gut, and my gut tells me to go both running backs. Bucky has a safe floor. I think so does Dowdle. Tolbert's targets are up and down, even though I like Tolbert today. I like Slayton as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if Slayton just magically phased out into the distance and they started, maybe Wan'Dale Robinson gets 30 fucking targets, right? Or maybe they use the running back out of the backfield. They use the tight end more. So that makes me a lot more confident just playing Bucky and Dowdle. Kevin Henry, thank you for the super chat. 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Evans, Mooney, Dell, Olave, Dowdle. Great question. Oh. Any question that involves Mike Evans is incredibly tough because it's hard. It's hard for me to justify telling you to sit Evans because of how good Evans is. But we know the history. We know how this matchup goes up against Lattimore, and it's where Evans gets locked up and they throw away the key, and Evans has like the shittiest game you could possibly imagine, and then people are like shocked, but it happens every time they play, so you really shouldn't be shocked, right? But that's going to make me go with Dowdle's going to be your flex. We're going to go Olave and Mooney. We're going to avoid Evans. It doesn't feel great to avoid Evans, but again, just knowing how this has gone in the past just tells me that playing Evans would be foolish. So we're going to avoid Evans. We're going to go Mooney, Olave, and we are going to go Dowdle. Titans, Bowers. Oh, that's what I did. That's what I did wrong, feller. I messed up. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and play Mooney, Olave, and Dowdle. That's the way. I like it. Steeler Nation, thank you for the super chat. Where's your question? Looking for it. I'm going to keep going, but I will find it. I will find it, Mr. Steeler Nation. Thank you for the super chat. It's up here. Full PPR, Hopkins, Pickens, or Downs. We're going to go Downs. We're going to go Downs. I don't really want to play Hopkins. Like, I'm just going to be honest. I think playing Hopkins is incredibly risky. I don't think there's much. There is upside in Hopkins, but there's also downside, which is he just doesn't get involved like at all. So I'm going to go ahead and play Downs. I just think he's your safest bet by far. It's Josh Downs. The Recovery 716, thank you for the super chat. I got 2 offers on the table for Cup. Kelsey and Bucky for Cup, or DK and Bucky for Cup. Are you giving up those trades for Cup, or like, are you trying to get Cup? I think at this point in the season, I'd rather have Kelsey. So I would not be trading for Cup. If you're 1-4, you can't afford Cup. Like, Cup's the kind of guy you trade for. When's Cooper Cup coming back? We're going to have to go a lot faster, though, just so you guys know. Cooper Cup could potentially get traded. Reveals possible return date. Week 7. So they're saying it could be week 7. It's next week. So if you want to do, if you're receiving these trades, I would take Kelsey and Bucky would be the side of the trade I would want. And if you're giving it away, I'd rather give away DK and Bucky for Cup. We got to go a little bit faster. There's a lot of super chats. So I got to go super fast mode. Thank you guys for all the super chats. 10-team PPR. Just traded Gibbs for Christian McCaffrey in hopes for the playoffs. Thoughts? Rest of the team is in the comments above. Okay. Okay. I don't see your other question. Your other JPHOB. Yeah, I don't see the rest of your team. But do I love that trade? No. No, I don't love it. Why? Because we know what Gibbs is. Gibbs is going to be a top 12 running back basically every single week and is going to provide for your team. Christian McCaffrey could come back and not look like himself. Christian McCaffrey could just potentially never come back. So, no, I don't love that trade. But in a month, if Christian McCaffrey does return in November, I would rather have Christian McCaffrey than Gibbs. I just think it is a little bit risky. Next question here from NY1970. Have Allen at quarterback. Is it crazy to start Daniel Jones? The answer to that would be no. I don't think it's crazy at all to play Daniel Jones. I like Daniel Jones almost more than Josh Allen. I do have Josh Allen ranked higher, but if it's my fantasy team, I honestly think I would rather play Daniel Jones. I just think the problem with rankings are you can't bury Josh Allen too far because he's Josh Allen. And it wouldn't be this insane scenario, right? Like you're at the end of the week. No one is going to be sitting there like, oh, I'm super fucking surprised that Josh Allen scored 25 fantasy points. But yeah, if you want to go Daniel Jones, go ahead and do it. Social media, Mike, pick 2, Amari Cooper, Jameson Williams, Devontae Smith, full PPR. We're going to go with Jameson Williams and Devontae Smith. Jameson Williams' volume has been spotty, but I do think he's going to potentially be able to score a touchdown here. Again, very high scoring back and forth game. Devontae Smith, I just feel safer with his floor compared to Amari Cooper. The volume's been there for Cooper. The actual targets have been dog shit, though, from Deshaun Watson. So Jameson Williams and Devontae Smith. I pulled in Conklin on Thursday after Ertz low production week 4 and 5. Now he's questionable. Should I play Otten, Ertz, or risk Conklin playing on Monday? Tyler. Week 6 injury updates questionable. He was limited in practice on Friday. The game's on Monday. My best guess is that he plays, but if you're just looking for the safety net, which a lot of times I would probably do, I would lean with Ertz in that matchup. So I have Conklin ranked the highest. I think Conklin's going to play. I'm going Conklin. Alexis, thank you for the super chat. I dropped Pittman because they said he was injured for 4 weeks. He's healed. Shout out to my bad luck. That's okay. The problem with injury reports like that is a lot of the time you need to just wait until the team actually does it. If they're going to say, oh, he's going to be on IR, just wait, right? Just wait, because you don't want to end up doing what you did and then potentially screwing yourself over, because Pittman is obviously better than Lazard or Leggett. I would probably play Lazard. It's a primetime game. Lazard always scores in primetime. I'm leaning Lazard there. I like Leggett a decent amount too, but I think I like Lazard more just because he feels safer. FZ, where thank you for the super chat. Cousins or Kyler? Got to be Kyler. I like Cousins a lot this week, but it's just got to be Kyler. It's just got to be Kyler. It just has to be. Why does it have to be? Because Kyler has a lot more rushing upside, and Kirk is coming off of this super hot performance. He's probably going to simmer down a little bit. Maybe they look to get Bijan a little bit more involved because Bijan just hasn't done shit this season, and maybe this is the week after we all have kind of unanimously quit on Bijan. Like, you still play him, but now we just don't rank him very high at all. Now is going to be the game where he goes fucking balls to the wall nuclear. So we're going to go ahead and play Kyler. Alan Moore, thank you for the super chat. Christian Watson or Sermon at the flex? It's got to be Sermon. I like Christian Watson, the player. I do. I'm a huge fan of Christian Watson. I think Christian Watson's an incredibly high upside player, touchdown upside in any given game. Super fun guy to watch play football. But when push comes to shove, I'm definitely playing Sermon over Watson. I feel a lot safer in his production. And I feel a lot safer in just all facets of things. I know he's going to get more volume, and I feel like he's a safer bet to find the end zone. Citrus Blade, T. Higgins or Marvin Harrison Jr., half PPR. You're trading Cup away. Okay. So your answer is I want the Kelsey side of that trade, the Kelsey side. Sorry for not understanding your question. Citrus Blade, thank you for the super chat. Marvin Harrison or T. Higgins. I have them ranked back-to-back in my rankings. It is 100% a coin flip. It is as coin flippy as it gets, in my opinion. It's an all-time coin flip. I lean with T. Higgins. Expert consensus rankings has has Marvin Harrison Jr. higher. To me, it really does feel like a coin flip. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with T. Higgins. It is close though. It's very, very close. History Draper, full PPR, Dobbins or Eckler, Dobbins, Tolbert, Slayton, Olave, Cooper. If you need one, it's going to be Olave. If you need two, it's going to be Tolbert. Tolbert and Olave, and then Dobbins. But if you have to play just one, it's Dobbins and Olave. We have to go quicker though. There's a lot of super chats left. Rise above everything. What's up, Nick? Downs, Moss, Sermon, Dell at the flex. That's a good question. Downs, Moss, Sermon, Dell, flex at the flex. Ooh, I'm going Downs. Where's the captain? I think he's gone. I think he's away for now. I gotta text him later, but I've been so busy. I haven't been on the Discord. If you guys join the Discord, um, I do try to go in there all the time. I haven't been recently. Been super busy with work, and other stuff. Like I got a wedding to go to today. I'm going Downs, rise above everything. I like Downs a lot this week. I love Downs this week. I just like Downs with Flacco. I trust heavily in Joe Flacco. Maybe that's crazy to trust Unk Joe Flacco, but I just do. I trust Joe Flacco a ton. So I'm going Flacco. I'm going Flacco's guy. Downs. Brown or Bucky? Bucky. Cooper or Gibson? Gibson. I have Josh and Kincaid. Play Jaden over Josh Allen and keep it with Kincaid. Chase Brown or Tracy? Chase Brown. Nick, do I start Daniel Jones over Stroud today? Yes. Full PPR, Jameson Williams or Pickens? Pickens. Jameson Williams. Tracy or Moss? Tracy. Alexis Texas or Mia Malkova? I'm going to go with the old school Alexis Texas. Downs or Dell? Downs. Biggest question of the day, which defense would you rather play? Colts, Falcons, or Chargers? Colts. No, Chargers. Chargers. Colts, Falcons, Chargers. I'm going Chargers. Love or Dak and Hopkins or Quentin Johnson? Love Hopkins. Start Higgins, Bucky, or Mooney? Higgins. Kraft or Laporta? Kraft. Josh Allen or Goff? Goff. Shaheed, Ridley, or Sermon? Sermon. Jameson Williams or Pickens? Pickens. Pick two. Brees Hall. Oh, wait, we got super chat. Brees Hall, Chuba, Montgomery, and Bucky Irving. Brees Hall and Chuba. Finesse God. Thank you for the super chat. Half PPR, start one. Algier, Sermon, or Gibson. It's got to be Sermon. I don't trust Algier at all. I think Sermon should be fine this week. Like, again, don't expect what we got last week where he scored the touchdown and had like a really big game, but I expect at least 10 points. And I don't expect 10 points out of Algier, and I would be hesitant to throw that onto Antonio Gibson either. So we're to go with Sermon. Respect. Shaheed, Ridley, or Sermon? Sermon. Have to play one and drop one. Tracy or Sermon? Play Tracy, drop Sermon. Pittman or Shaheed? Pittman. Pittman or Deontay? Deontay. Laporta or Kincaid? Kincaid. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Like and sub. Thank you, Nick. No problem. Kraft or Laporta? Kraft. Sermon, Moss, or Javante? Moss. Chase Brown or Joe Mixon? Mixon. Braylon or Tolbert? Tolbert. Any other questions here? Pittman versus Deontay. Deontay. Good luck, boys. Good luck. Defense: Bengals, Giants, or Saints. I don't like any of those. I guess I would go with the Giants. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Going with Chase Brown. Good luck. Thanks. No problem. Should I start Daniels and Njoku or Josh Allen and Kincaid? I would play Daniels and Kincaid. All right, we are at lock. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate everyone stopping by for the stream. It means the world to me. I apologize for being slightly late. Was busy this morning. Got to get dressed. What could go wrong? Everything could go wrong. I got to get dressed for the wedding. Love you guys. I appreciate all you guys. Going to be watching the games on my phone. Won't be as heavy on Twitter like I normally am. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you very much. It's not my wedding. You think? Well, at the wedding I'm going to, I would never get married on a football Sunday. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Have fun at the wedding. Make sure to catch the bouquet. Oh, I definitely will. Gronk spike it. Love you guys. Have a great one. Peace out.